senators, and representatives, I have the distinguished honor of presenting.
Throughout history, the interplay of political decisions and environmental challenges has shaped societies. In Stalin's Soviet Union, forced collectivization collided with harsh climatic conditions, exacerbating inefficiencies in agriculture and leading to devastating famines. This lesson will examine the environmental and climatic impacts on migration patterns, labor distribution, and land use during this tumultuous period. The Soviet Union's vast agricultural regions, particularly in Ukraine, were prone to climatic variability. Frequent droughts and poor soil quality were natural challenges that made consistent agricultural production difficult. Collectivization policies removed decision-making from local farmers and centralized it under state control. Mismanagement of resources and inadequate understanding of local environmental conditions worsened productivity. Ukraine, known as the Soviet Union's breadbasket, suffered immensely under these compounded pressures. Forced requisitions of grain coincided with droughts, leaving little food for local consumption. The result was the Holodomor, 1932 to 1933, a man-made famine in which millions of Ukrainians starved to death. Political priorities overrode environmental realities, as grain exports were prioritized to fund industrialization. Stalin's industrialization policies demanded that grain be exported to earn foreign currency. This decision led to stark disparities. Regions facing climate-induced shortages were stripped of their resources, exacerbating hunger. Collectivized farms were often overused, without proper replenishment of soil nutrients. Environmental degradation, coupled with centralized quotas, led to a cycle of declining yields. Starving peasants fled rural areas for cities or industrial centers, seeking survival. Entire swaths of agricultural land were abandoned or fell into disrepair due to a lack of labor and resources. With declining rural populations, labor was forcibly redirected to urban centers and large-scale industrial projects. Industrial cities like Magnitogorsk became hubs for displaced rural workers, though many arrived under duress. Those deemed unproductive or resistant to collectivization were sent to gulags in remote regions, further redistributing labor to state-prioritized projects. Entire communities were depopulated, with rural traditions and lifestyles eroding under the pressures of famine and migration. This had lasting effects on cultural and social cohesion in agricultural regions. Climate variability and political mismanagement created a cycle. Poor harvests led to grain requisitions, starvation caused migration or death, and abandoned farmland reduced future productivity. Mismanagement during collectivization left lasting scars on the land, reducing fertility and creating a reliance on industrial agriculture. These decisions contributed to the long-term vulnerability of Soviet agriculture. The combination of climatic challenges and resource mismanagement during Stalin's era reshaped the Soviet Union's demographic and agricultural landscape. Forced requisitions and environmental degradation drove migration, famine, and labor redistribution. By examining this period, we gain critical insights into how political and environmental factors interact, often with devastating consequences. This understanding underscores the importance of sustainable governance and resource management in the face of natural challenges.